And the question says, since my girlfriend and I have now broken up twice in 2 years, I don't want to enter a relationship with someone who is so easy to quit when times get hard. How can I know in the future she won't quit on us again? How can I properly create an environment with her where we can discuss deal breakers prior to us trying this out again? Well, in your particular situation, I imagine part of those breaks have been because you've been needy and you've been showing the kind of behavior that is not allowing her to trust your masculine core. When women can't trust your masculine core, they have to move into their masculine, in part because they're seeing you as acting more feminine. And you being in a feminine state, you being anxious and needy, which is feminine energy, is going to cause them to head for the hills. Now, I know people don't think that's fair. It sounds weird even now today. It's like, being anxious and needy, you're saying that's feminine energy, that's sexist, how dare, blah, 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 blah. I say that because in our society, of the two sexes, women can get away with being needy and anxious better, and it's more accepted than when men do it. So again, if you have a woman that is looking to date a masculine man, you are not showing the masculine signs that are making her feel safe and secure, and that are not therefore allowing her to bask in the easiness of her femininity. So when you stop being that way, then it's going to be easier. That's how you create the environment. You create the environment by learning how to lessen your anxiety, by learning how to be confident in what you're bringing to the table enough to where you genuinely, authentically believe that you are worthy of her sticking to her word and being faithful to you. And that's things that come with practice. Right now, you have whatever, I don't know what your background is in life, but you have not been in the practice of not being anxious and of not having the confidence in yourself to believe that women actually want you. And hey, I didn't have that at one point. I had to learn to grow into that. There are various things you can do in order to better practice that. And when you first start practicing these things, suffice to say, it's going to feel weird and awkward, and it's going to feel like this isn't how I authentically am. And it's not, because you've been authentically acting like nervous and needy. And so you got to get rid of that. You got to replace that with behaviors and mechanics that are going to display and have you feel like a more confident person. At the point that you do that, then you're going to start focusing more on like just being the best version of yourself that you possibly can and showing her the best possible time that you can. As you do that, then you'll find that these fights go away. Because here's the thing, right? And this is what I don't think guys get, is that almost every fight that you have in your relationship is probably because of you. Now, again, men don't like to hear that. Men like to think, but she's toxic and this is that. That could be very, very true, right? But again, women are looking for you to be the leader. So if you're taking on the role as the masculine man, and you're taking on the role as the person that wants to be the leader in this relationship, then the buck starts with you. And so if you're displaying neediness and anxiousness and untrustworthiness, unbeknownst to you, you're projecting those things out to your woman, which is now creating the environment for her to be anxious and for her to not be trusting and for her to be wondering about where you're standing and what your stance is in the relationship. And so you have to do the work of getting to a place where, in spite of like her past of being a cheater, which again, regardless of how you learn that, she hasn't done it up to this point. So fingers crossed. But since you agreed to date her in spite of that, you have to continue to date her as if that's not going to happen. But still keep your eyes and ears open, but like you have to go in that mind frame, because if your mind frame is now any day she could cheat on me, you're unknowingly bringing the kind of energy to a relationship that is saying either I want you to cheat on me or there's no trust here. And that's going to cause turmoil and chaos. You know what I mean? So that's why she's so easy to quit, because when you're not displaying the masculine core that she needs, it makes her not feel safe. It makes her not look at you in the same way, and it makes her second guess if she should stay in the relationship. To where what she's doing is this: she's leaving out the relationship, which is giving her space to reset herself, to think back to you in a way where you were that masculine guy. Then she comes back to you thinking, okay, I'm thinking about him as if he's a masculine guy again, so now he's going to be that guy. So when she comes back to you and you're that way for a little while, it's like, okay, everything's great again. But then you start showing the signs of neediness and anxiousness that makes you think, oh crap, he's feminine energying again. Oh my God, I can't trust the masculine core. I got to get away. Every time she goes away, all she's subconsciously trying to do is reset herself to the point where she can think and feel about you again as that masculine guy that she was once dating. And when she comes back and you prove her wrong, she got to leave again. So this starts with you having to be more confident and stuff like that. Question, how can you practice that and grow into that? That is where the self-work comes in. That is where you have to really for one, for me, myself, it's like this. I had to recognize that in my past, I definitely had some negative dating patterns. I have a free webinar called Three Nice Guy Dating Patterns That Turn Women Off, that talk about what some of those dating patterns are that you need to get rid of and what you can replace them with to start having new patterns, okay? But beyond that, a lot of this really boils down to you don't have the confidence in yourself, which speaks to you have not done enough stuff in your life to really build up a high level of self-esteem. I find, just speaking as a guy, that in my personal life, the more goals that I set for myself and then was able to achieve them, the more confident I got in myself. As a guy, your main focus should not be her. Your main focus should be, what are the goals that I'm setting for myself to be able to get to a higher place in my job, to have my entrepreneurial thing be successful, to bring more money in. Because when you focus on those things and then you succeed in them, that's going to give you the confidence to be like, yeah, I set myself out to make goals and do stuff, and I do them. And darn it, everything that I say I'm going to do, I end up doing, and it becomes successful. Like, I am the shiznit. And then you walk around with this thing like, hey, I'm the shiznit. Like, I give you guys advice. I'm very much like, I'm like, hey, it's very direct. I don't have any second guesses about the advice that I'm giving you. When I started out doing this, I was like hoping the stuff I was saying was right? So I carried myself differently when I first started out versus what I do now. But that came with time and with results. Every time I get a testimonial from a guy saying, dude, Harry, I did this thing that you said I should do, and I did it, and it totally worked. Just more of a confidence boost, right? And then I walk out in the world like, I give guys advice and it works. I'm confident in what I do. Women see that confidence about the things that I'm confident about that have nothing to do with them. And when they see that, they're like, oh, shoot, that guy's confident. I want to follow him. Because here's the thing. Most women, you will find, they're looking to build up their confidence too, but they don't have a roadmap or guide for that. And so part of the reason they choose the guys they choose is because they're looking at guys that have an exuberant amount of confidence and are like, oh, maybe he's grounded enough to where I can feel confident doing whatever when I'm with him. So as you become confident by setting goals for yourself and achieving them, then the women around you will see that confidence and want to be in your aura. So you need to stop focusing on her and start focusing on your life and putting plans together and working on those plans and succeeding at those plans. And you will find, as a result of doing stuff outside of women, you will gain the confidence that will allow you to be more confident around women, and women will see that. And then beyond that, it's really doing the work of understanding what things draw in women and keep them around, and then also having a better understanding overall of when women choose you, that they're choosing you because they see something in you and they feel that you have worth to them and are worthy of them going out with. And you have to get into the habit of understanding that if she sees that, then that means that it's within you and that you need to see it also. And if you don't see it, this is where therapy works. This is where reading more self-help books works. This is where getting one-on-one coaching works. But these are the things you need to do actively to get your brain clicking into a different mindset about yourself than what you have now. So hopefully some of that helps you out. You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man.